Dhyanamoolam Gurumurti Pujamoolam Gurupadam Mantramoolam Guruvakyam Mokshamoolam Guru Kripa. Om Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Third eye. Last time we were looking into what really the third eye is, whether is there a physical dimension to it or not. Third eye sees, but it does not see. And our regular eyes, two eyes, what we see is not seen by the third eye. Third eye is an intuitive knowledge, the knowledge that all of us have, divine creativity before the creation creates the before the creator creates the creation, he provides all resources, meaning whatever is needed for that type of animal, we call ourselves also animal, that everything is built into. But what happened that as we grow and we think we are going wiser, but what basically we are doing is we are really covering up the so-called memory of the third eye with the two eyes, with the ears, with the nose, and whatnot. So to say, the inherent intuitive knowledge of the third eye gets covered up with all the logical arguments, reasoning, logics of the objective world. So understand basically of all the objective world, anytime you think like that there were certain problems in your life you could not solve, and you meditate upon and you could solve it, don't think it is third eye. Third eye knowledge leads you to peace, love, compassion. It leads you to subjective meaning who truly you are. Now, that much said, and I'm not going much into it, but today I was requested, and of course it plays also a major role in knowing third eye or anything about third eye. So what was that? That has to do, or that pertains to emotions. We have several kinds of emotions, and those emotions, no matter what we do, and two of my friends had asked me to talk about that certain thoughts we can control or we can have mastery over, or we do not become the victim of. But the emotions are so hard to monitor, control, have mastery over. So let us understand some of the common and most prevailing emotions, and then we'll talk about it. So let me take you to that slide. You see, fear, anger, disgust, sadness, rage, loneliness, melancholy, annoyance, emptiness, frustration, inadequacy, helplessness, guilt. But per our shastras, some of them can be dependent, some of them can be the cause among themselves, some of them may be the result. But six vices, ripus, or the six enemies in the human race is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mat, and Matsar. Kama, the desire. Kama, Krodha, Krodha, anger. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, greed. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, the lobe is not greed, lobe is desire. And moha, greed, matsar, jealousy. So these are so prevalent emotions. So all of these we will be covering, but now I would like you to unmute yourself and keep your microphone on, but please make sure that the background music may not disturb us. All right. Would you kindly do that? So that I want it to be to a degree um, dialogue type information. All right. Now, gallery. All right. Now, so where's Chris? Okay. Chris, would you begin and say, what do you mean by emotions and what emotions you try to so-called control it?
I'd say one of the big ones is loneliness, isolation.
Very good.
And the way that I try to control that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any control over it because I start thinking about all the things that are making me sad and lonely. And I try to do things like maybe deep breathing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some meditation,
Mm-hmm.
but it just keeps coming back. It keeps coming back, and my mind is always racing. It particularly happens in the morning, right when I wake up.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else? Just go ahead and put in your effort and try to refrain yourself from theoretical knowledge. If you had experienced what Chris was talking about, and what did you do or what you think you can do?
Probably, Sunil, I can add, like, anger is one of the biggest thing, like his enemy. So probably whenever it comes, think about nothing is important in this world, and maybe have the good memories, and that will come and go away. Some of those thoughts probably will dilute it, I think.
Venkat, is it your experience that is talking, or you would have read in some book?
A little bit both together, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, I would. This is Jamini. I would like to add something. Sometimes when something wrong happen, or something that is not right on my sense, yeah, that I think that this is not right. That make me upset for a moment, and then now because of all this yoga practice and reading, spiritual reading. Now I right away I just try to think that for me maybe it's wrong, but for whoever doing it, it's not wrong. And I can give you a very good example for today. Like, yeah, yesterday evening, on our street we have a street like limit, like permit parking. Nobody else can park. So somebody else parked the car there, and they left another car. And since today, all day the car is still there, and like it's like it in the morning it's bothered me. I said, see, this is a permit parking. If our car is there, they give us a ticket, and somebody park here and they are not given ticket. Can I call the police, or can I call the city? That kind of thing. And I said, you know what, who am I? Maybe he has some good reason to park there, and I'm trying to avoid that scenario.
Good thought. Ultimately, for this and anything else, we have studied and we are still studying. Spirituality is a singular journey. At the same time, various thoughts will come to you as a duty of a good citizen.
Yes.
Okay, that may contradict with what we just now talk about. So at that time, don't think too much and see, and still you will contradict with what you just now said, that the person who left it, either his or her car might have died, and or he or she might not be feeling good. We don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, what is the root cause of being upset in this case? Anybody? What is the cause behind this? Yes.
Expectation.
Yeah. Sorry.
Expectation, your own expectations.
Beautiful. And in that expectation that the person who did wrong is not right and I am right.
Yes.
Okay. And what she said is true. Expectation. And expectation could be, in so many cases, responsible. And whatever we expect is the ideal expectation. Anybody else, whatever they do, that's not right. Those are the thoughts. So in all different cases, one has to sit and go back to good old statement that we have studied. My inner peace is non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Yes.
Why, at the cost of somebody else has parked a car on the street? Gemini gave a very good example. She has parked a car on the street. You are not paying for the street per se. You have your property. So why you are extending further? And sometimes, even though it's not your boundary, but I have had various examples that if somebody has parked the car in front of your house, not blocking the driveway, and still he or she becomes so upset that how dare you park the car here, as if she's paying the rent for the parking spot in front of her house. So this is, and whether somebody does it or not, we just look at what I could do. And even to think about it, we are sacrificing our inner peace. So this is a matter of constant awareness. And that's why so often it has been said, yoga is a science of awareness. So anyway, this was good point. Anything else? One could mention about anger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so let me ask you, what is again in the foundation of anger?
I think something not happening the way we say, or people don't listen to what we say, that one, and they don't behave the way we want it, like expectations. So that may be the...
Beautiful. And I'm glad you are narrowing down to.
Yeah.
And now let me ask and a little bit guide you. How would you relate expectation to Chris's concern of loneliness? How would you connect these two?
That also, I think we expect a lot of people to be around us. Maybe depend upon the person's mentality. He wants to be with a lot of people, and he wants a lot of people to be around him, and or take it to like to be friendly or anything like that too. So everybody has their own expectations. They don't want to be there. Maybe they don't get what they want, and it may not happen that way.
So this is a matter of, say, you may be expecting me to come and visit you.
Yeah.
Okay? And when I don't show up, he says, oh, what do you think Swamiji is? He never comes and visit me, this and that. But what was your point? Was your point of meeting, or was your point of me coming to you and not you coming to me? And again, these are the points we are discussing. I'm not also guiding Chris what to do. And I remember when I was in New Jersey, a friend of mine who owns motel, and he could not get out of the house. The motel required a lot of work. So almost every weekend, I and my family will go and visit them. So one day, after a couple of years, he said that I feel very sorry, Sonaji, that every time you have to come to me, but I cannot visit you. I said, why? What makes you think so? I am least expecting you to come out, and you please don't expect. What is the matter? The matter is of us meeting. And for this loneliness and or other stages of anxiety, best thing to do for any of the psychic condition is to go out and do some social work, anything social.
Suneji, while asked like Gemini's thing point, just I was thinking, what is right, what is wrong, sometimes it's very difficult to realize. Maybe as a good citizen, suppose some thief is stealing somewhere we see, but he's not stealing anything from our house, from some other house he's stealing. Should we call police or 911 or that is not our problem?
Okay. For that, again, I'm not the one to answer.
Yeah.
But what do you think your duty is? What is your dharma?
I think we should protect the people's properties.
That's it. So at that time, you feel like calling, call.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Jayshree.
But is it, the point is you do your duty, but without the emotion, right? Without that anger or that fear, or is that what it is?
Beautiful. Without disturbing your peace of mind. My inner peace is non-negotiable. Whether you do your duty or you don't do your duty, doing duty and extending further are on an improvement side, on an excellent side, you're growing. But doing with expectation, you are degrading yourself because you, at that time, you are expecting other person to be a good citizen. That is, once again, your expectation comes into picture, see? So the
like unattached to that one,
yeah. And more than us being a good citizen, and even if you're paying importance to a good citizen, then you expect everybody else to do it. And little bit on a humor side, I notice it most of the time. Any class that I go and take, moment I mention that, hey, use the belly breathing, breathe slowly, or anything I mention, and if a couple is sitting, wife will be looking at the husband. Did you see what he said? That means what? Whatever you do or not, but you want your partner to do it. And I'm not saying you don't do that, but this is, again, expectation. And yes.
Balaji, I have what Chris was saying, I understand because me, him, and people like us who live alone, and you, none of you, thank God, live alone like we do. You come to a point, today I was there and I still, if I talk a little bit, I start to cry, that I've done my best in life all the time.
You have
as long as I remember.
Sorry, you have done what?
I have done my best in life as far as I remember. As a child, I was pushed around, I took it, everything. But then right now I sit in this space that I have right now, which I don't see it as fair to what I've been through. And that anger that comes from that space, that I've done my best as far as being a daughter, a wife, a mother, everything, and I am suffering, to be honest, not all the time, but once in a while, these things creeps in my being and disturbs me so bad that why is it so unfair? Like, why is my daughter going through the horrible divorce that she was the best girl that you could have as far as inside and outside, and everyone knows that? Or my kid, my 3 grandkids, 2 of them are autistic, and I have to hear about the boy all the time. And there is nothing I can do anymore. I've done my part, and now you may say, go back to what we say, your inner peace is not negotiable. But there is no inner peace sometimes. Sometimes I lose that, and I don't know how to go back to that. These are the reality of life as far as feeling and being. As far as parking the cars and physical stuff, I totally understand. But these are so hard to deal with. And I so much work on it to bring myself out of it. God knows how many times today I meditate, I do my yoga, but it just doesn't go away, and it's very uncomfortable.
Okay. Maheen, I am with you, sweetheart, with you, Chris, and everybody. I'm not here to advise anyone. We are all, this is a beautiful satsang, and we are working together. Okay?
Yeah.
So, one of the key elements for this kind of situation is satsang, continuous reminder of the same thing. And here too, whatever word we had just now heard about expectation. What is the expectation here? Is to, if there is something, some element called God, or why my children are not better, why they are artistic, why do I feel lonely? What wrong I have done? I have been the best person. And I'm not saying you're not the best person, but what is happening was that in our mind, we think that the bad person may be punished, but a good person must not be. Now, the word punishment comes into picture because we are treating that as a punishment. But if that one is also treated as a guiding turnaround, that I have to be sympathetic with so many millions of people who do not have some part of their body, they don't have bread and butter to eat, they do not have a roof over their head. So when sometimes we compare the worst, then we may feel better. I'm not saying, and I do empathize that what it is, and it's not that I have not undergone or nor I'm even undergoing. Let me put it this way. So at this stage in the game, a couple of words of suggestion, if I may make, is introduce some different activity. And what I mean by at this stage in the game, anytime the thought comes, do not keep on entertaining that thought. Either come out of the house or engage yourself into some other work. And be aware that what makes me miserable is just contemplating on the thoughts which must not come. And I'm expecting myself that myself should have been treated by the divine much better because I am a good girl or I'm doing so. So that also an expectation. At the same time, this may, if we take it as, if we treat ourselves as a guiding light, so that we may be more sympathetic or empathize with other people who have similar situation, and we try our best to be with them or to share the feeling in a positive manner. What I meant by positive manner is, simple example, sitting together and learning how to breathe. Okay, belly breathing, or read some good material together, or even though you know how to do Yog Nidra, but then the others may not know. So as soon as you engage yourself into this kind of behavior, not only you are getting benefit, but you are preventing others also to come out of this kind of moment. And if not at that moment, sometimes in future, they need to be guided. So let us guide ourselves first. And any kind of this kind of meta, that what your daughter has done to have this kind of children, daughter has not done anything. On the contrary, the same thing we can expect differently, and that is children's are artistic. So your daughter and you as a grandma can provide such a profound love that the other's grandma may not be in a position to provide. That's why you were selected to be grandmother of those two children. And taking it this way as an opportunity, then a complaint. And let me tell you, I'm not saying you're not complaining. You're seeking some solution out of it. And my love goes always with all of you. So don't feel bad. But there is a word to be learned, is Kal, K-A-L. Okay? Kal, a lot of people translate like time, but it's not time only. Time, space, situation, ambience, karmas, all these things put together, and everything has the influence on you. And who knows, you might have been selected to be the best person, that you bearing little pain, but you are such a guide, and you are providing such a bundle of love to your grandchildren, while the others may not be in a position to provide. You see what I'm saying? So you were chosen to be that. It's not that why me only. Where did Chris go? Oh, okay. So the in behind all these things, couple of suggestions, if I may make, and try not to feel empty or lacking something. And what I meant by lacking something is that Pushpa had this while my house is small. She had nice 6-bedroom house, but mine is not. As soon as that comparative thought comes, and the thought of deficiency instead of ampleness, abundance, that thought will bring you back as to what we have as compared to what we do not have. And just consider, Mahim, what a big help you are to this whole group. You have been so much consistent. You give us all company. You care for the children, and how much you care for the children. And you have been a mother of thousands of children. As soon as that Ekal Vidyalaya word comes in, your heart goes for it. So, and this not everybody may be feeling it, but the extent that you feel for is so admirable, so much appreciated. And these are the acquiring motherhood through duty rather than biological mother. Okay?
Thank you so much for all that. But it's when you say you need to have love and those empathy and gratitude and all that for life and the people around you, and whether you know them or you don't. I have to say it's lovely. When I do it, I really enjoy it. It gives me, basically, it's one of the best parts of my life. But on the other hand, it could be hurtful. It could be hurtful because that love is it's the essence of who you are, and that sometimes when it gets disturbed is not easy. As far as I am very happy in my skin. I am very comfortable in my life. I'm grateful for whatever I have because that's all I need. But this subject of love and connection and caring and giving and all that sometimes is too much to have it all in place and have control over. That's all I'm saying. And it's not all the time, but sometimes it happens.
Yes, and I understand. And this thing, you have to understand that happens with almost anybody. Okay, even saint and seers, those who may be wearing saffron clothes, they undergo the same. And you talk about myself. I also am a human being. I undergo that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but during those times, what we can do to slowly come out of it rather than scratching the wound all the time. What I meant by scratching the wound is when the thought comes that why that I have to suffer, at that time, be aware of and get out of it and do something else. Go for a walk, start cooking, have a rosary, okay, start doing exercise. So change of mind. And more you will engage yourself into yogic practices, you will find it is helping, it is healing. And I think we all are so fortunate that the subject matter of yoga has been introduced to us, back to sitting at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And amazingly, it was talked about today was like, it's like I asked the universe to talk about something like this, and they put it in my lap, and I'm so grateful for that. Of all days, and I hope Chris feels good too.
Oh yeah, I love Chris because you see, so often when he's asking the question, he's representing the whole class.
Yes.
For some of us, we may not open up our mouth, but this boy, he opens it in such a manner that he's our, what do you call, captain.
Yeah.
Representing us and talking.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, no, I feel very, very lucky. And I think most of you know that how Chris was introduced to us. Okay?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I do.
It is so, and ever since, this boy has never missed a single class because he's so determined. And yeah, determined person.
And he, I think in a lot of ways, he has found what he's been searching for to give him what he needs and where to go in life. And he is still trying to get more of that and understand more of that to go there. So
And that
yeah, the
indeed,
question, yeah.
what you're saying it, you just think and regurgitate today's experience that you were thinking that may in this class we discuss emotions. And that vibration went ahead, and that's what we are discussing. And
Exactly. I'm not this down. Usually I'm okay. I'm, myself. But today specifically, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk to about with Sonergy, and the class is going to be. I hope it's something like that. And it's exactly what I needed, which is very lucky.
Let me tell you, universe loves us so much.
Yes.
And
yes.
even if some so-called misery comes to our life, but that misery is also to bring our focus on the satsang side rather than getting lost into the other details of the life.
Sure.
Nainaben, you have been seriously thinking, talk something, guide us.
I'm listening everything. I agree with you, and I agree with Mahim also that, but one thing is that, no matter what you do, how much we learn, there are some days you get frustrated, you get sad, and you get lonely. Just like Mahim, I have sad days, I have good days also. The one thing I suggest to Mahim that, whenever that happens to me, I just talk to one of my good friend and let my feelings come out. As soon as all the things comes out from my heart, I feel better, So Mahim, we are your family. You can always contact one of us and let us get your sadness out if you feel like.
Much. I'm so blessed to have you all. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Chris, talk something.
Well, oh, go on.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I just, I was actually out of the meeting for a while because the thunder was going, and so I got back in, but I got the last part of what you were talking about.
Oh,
and so fortunately I was able to get back in. But what was your question? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you, what was my question? No.
The whole subject was based on your question.
Yeah, basically, what in this root cause behind all this is feeling insufficient.
Yes.
If you start reminding yourself of the word opulence, or not too much, but just right, purnam, totality, fullness. Why am I, and ask, each one of us have to ask ourselves, why am I saying that I don't have this, instead of saying how much I have of everything.
Yes.
What I have.
Yes, and I find that I compare myself a lot, my situation. I think, oh, I'm lonely. Oh, why am I lonely? Why is, it's always, why am I? And I have found that when I do start thinking about things I'm grateful for, that can sometimes turn things around for me. And I did that the other day. I was just lying in the afternoon, lying in bed. I just was tired, and I just was thinking, what do I have to be grateful for? And it just flooded out. All of these things I have, I live in a good city. It's safe. I have a nice house. I have friends. I have all these things. And it was just gushing out all the positives. Just thinking that, but most of the time I'm not caught in that gratitude mode. I'm caught in a mode of, oh, why isn't it this? Why isn't it that? What's wrong with me? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. So once again, if I have to add, if I have to tell, I will say the most useful tool in spirituality is the word gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Be grateful anytime, whether you are mad, you are upset, you think you are miserable. Okay? Grateful, grateful, grateful. Ask nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you will find it more and you see more and more you start feeling grateful. What's going to really happen is you are not the doer, the think. And as soon as you are not the doer, then what? Things happen, things get done. And you don't have to take credit, nor you have to take any blame. So you are free. And this freedom comes so carelessly. You follow? Do you guys agree or you just not?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's true. Yeah.
So, word gratitude. And as soon as you feel gratitude because you have been supplied everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what do you mean by you're supplied everything? You're not doing it.
Mm-hmm. You can have gratitude for something as simple as just being breathing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just watching your breath go in and out and in and out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It can be as simple as that.
Absolutely. And as and when and as long your body is able, try to spend some time with the Mother Nature. Go to the beach, go to the mountain, and going to certain nicer places. Germany, I feel so great that she has been visiting some of the nicer places, and she shares with me, and I feel so delighted that that's what she does.
It's beautiful rain outside. That's what I want to say. Oh my God. It's so beautiful outside.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah. So nice outside.
Anyhow, any other point? And tomorrow onward, and again, we are not deviating from the subject matter of third eye, understand? Because now I'm coming back to that topic just a few minutes. What really happens is once you start supporting the emotions, your mind gets occupied. And once your mind is occupied, then all the five sense organs are occupied.
Mm-hmm.
And while the five senses are occupied, two eyes are occupied, so third eye will never represent what it has to offer. You remember that young woman and old woman?
Yes.
Either young woman or the old woman. Okay? So in a situation like this, we have to decide how to give rest to my five sense organs. And that is where meditation comes into picture. That is where dharana comes into picture. You see how everything leads to one another. And
Yeah.
the way everybody is doing it, it's worth learning. Today, I have sent a video of Margie interviewing Swami Mahesh. I will highly recommend. highly recommend that you watch that video and just consider that the man has no house, no wife, even though there is mother, but still you can say no mother. Everything he's handling himself. And he, not having a dime in his pocket, has visited 93 countries of the world. And not only him entertaining it, but sharing this beautiful knowledge to the rest of the world. Not having a house, understand that. Okay? And so to say, how much he's sharing, and still now looking at the pandemic, the our virus condition, see how he made use of the virus. When you see that video, just think of it. Otherwise, person like us say, oh my God, I hope we get out of it. The virus goes off so that we can go out. But this is also such an excellent opportunity to do a lot of things at home. Anyhow, next time onward. Okay, by the way, any question, any suggestions?
Sunaji, I have a small comment to make.
Sure.
Today's discussion was extremely good and very powerful. I request to continue this conversation next week also.
Oh.
And one more thing I want to say on behalf of the group, we are with Maheen and Chris together.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
How
you.
lovely, how lovely.
I
And
know you are. The best part of my life is all of you. Thank you.
very lovely, very lovely. Yes, okay, then next time what I will do, will take one after emotions that were listed in that slide, okay?
Good.
So, but in the root of it, keep that in mind, the word gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Abundance versus not having enough. So having Purnam in place of Apurnam. Means not. Okay? So
I am full, I'm whole, I am
yeah.
perfect.
Who is this guy talking?
You. I'm just parroting you.
Let me tell you, whether you may say parroting or whatnot, but your memory and your recital is so guiding. We all need to hear 2-3 times, and you all the time remind us. So, Chris, we are so proud and so happy that you are with us.
Well, I'm so grateful to be part of this group. Thank you.
Yes, we are. We love you.
Love you too.
Chris, bye.
Love you three.
Let us have a minute or two of silence, and then we'll chant and try to understand and dwell in the meaning of Om Purnamadaha. Thinking, recognizing Purnam totality everywhere. And so in turn grateful. All right, silence please. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. That's it. And give me a minute to recognize for my sake to every one of you. I so dearly love, starting from Mahin Sweetheart, I love you, Richard, I love you, Evan, I love you dearly, Pushpa Ben Mandela.
We love you too. Everyone loves you.
Jamini, look at my nature girl.
Love you, love you.
Love you, Mukesh, love you, and brother Chris. Very, very unique asset I have in my life.
Yes.
So,
Thank you, Sunil.
Love you.
Hari
Love you
Om.
all.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Sanaji. Hari Om.